I'm going to try to run you very quickly through what my day looks like in eating and how I have decolonized my diet in so many ways. The first thing I want to say is that I have a long history of not good eating, very dysfunctional eating. I've had a lot of self hatred for my body since the time I can remember. I have always thought I was not good enough and my body was too big and I was too tall. So, what I'm learning to love is every single part of me, no matter where I am in my journey. And one of the ways I do this is when I look in the mirror and my stomach hangs, right? I had two kids, and that's the way my body went. And I used to feel disgusted every day I looked at this. And today I look and I'm like, oh, I am so grateful for this body that has birthed two beautiful little children. Like, my children are crazy little miracles, and I can't believe they're healthy. And I breastfed them with these breasts that sag now because I nourished my children. And I just accept every single part of me, and that goes along with the way that I eat. So I really, I think when we look at the bigger picture of anything indigenous values come towards, is that we are all interconnected. So when we treat our animals well or our earth well, we in trade will be well, right? Our health. So I think we really have to bring that on an individual level. Our body and our mind are one system. And so when you're putting anything on your skin, in your mouth, up your nose, in your hair, and in your mind, in your thoughts, like, these things are going to affect us. So the biggest things that I do in my day is I allow myself to sleep, and I do not let myself feel guilty because I slept in. That's what my body needed, and I'm accepting that. I try not to fight going to sleep because I need to get a whole bunch of work done. I really, really try to drink tons of water. Water is life. Water. I really try to focus on whole foods that are lower in carbs and that my body is craving. I do not force myself to eat anything anymore. I do not sit there and say, oh, this is really healthy, so I should be eating it. There's so many foods that nourish my body that I actually enjoy. There is no reason I should have disgusting food because some white lady on some show or diet infomercial told me that's a superfood that's going to solve all my problems, and I'm going to get the guy and the fucking bullshit promises. So I eat a very low carb, high fat, moderate protein diet. A lot of people would know as the ketogenic diet. And not saying that white society likes to take ideas that are already implemented and then sell them as their own, except they do. They do it all the time. And that's what they did, recently, without giving, I think, enough credit to the Inuit people and indigenous people in general, that we always ate a high fat, moderate protein, low carb diet, and it always was from obviously not processed foods. So when I say I'm on a ketogenic diet, I really am coming back to my ancestral roots in that diet. And even we're using that word diet, it's just the way that I eat. And I really try to focus on how is that piece of food or whatever I'm putting in my body, on my body, in my mind, how is that going to make me feel? That's the quick rundown of what I think about that. I do want to give some credit to this amazing lady who is not, to my knowledge, indigenous, but her name is Leanne Vogel. She's from Healthful Pursuit. I have followed her podcast for over a year. I finally took the plunge and got her meal plans, and I ended up eliminating dairy, gluten, grains, wheat, going on this very, as a ketogenic meal plan, but it was especially formulated for women and our hormones and all of the things. So what ended up happening is I got rid of dairy before I even knew I needed to. And just by doing this meal plan, I kind of was able to actually see what my body tolerates, because I just always thought my stomach hurting all the time and feeling like shit was normal. My body's broken and it hates me. So I tried to have dairy 2 weeks after eliminating it, and I thought I was gonna die. Like, I was moaning and almost crying on my bed for like 2 hours. So I try not to do that anymore. I do love dairy. It's an addiction I'm slowly breaking off of. But the reason I'm doing it is not because it's a bad food, it's because it doesn't make me feel good. So I'm going to run you through what I have in a day. I have a rocket fuel latte, which you can find on Healthful Pursuit as well. It's probably the most complicated part of my day, but I got it down now. I take a blender, I do cacao butter, collagen peptides. These are expensive as fuck, and the only reason I can afford it is because I went to Costco that we just got. But there are cheaper brands if you don't have access to Costco, if they don't sell it there for you. But this is a really awesome quality product. Then I put some hemp hearts in my coffee, and of course, MCT. I use the oil powder now, but I have for a very long time used the brain octane oil, which is essentially, it all comes from coconut oil. You can also get the XCT oil, but they're all just really a preference thing. So they're going to be giving you the fat and the nutrients and like the brain power. That is what I have in the morning. I blend that all together. I will not go into exactly how I do that, because you, again, can go on Healthful Pursuit, look up Rocket Fuel Latte, and you will get the exact ingredients. So I try to have a swig of this activated coconut charcoal every day. It's really helped in my current way of eating, because I am losing a significant amount of fat at a pretty good rate. And so I have had bouts of feeling like garbage. And then on top of that, I live in I basically live in a big oil field living in Alaska. That's what they're turning our state into. So we have a lot of toxins, lots, very, very, very high cancer rates and all that really good stuff. So I didn't put a ton of thought getting that. I asked the store lady for charcoal. I drink tons of water. And for lunch, I usually don't have lunch. If I feel like it, I do. I try to keep it small, but it kind of just depends on when I'm full. So today I had unalik, which is boiled whale meat, and it was delicious, and it's like one of my favorite foods. So when my coworker had it, I broke my, fasting plans, and I had some, and it was really yummy. For dinner tonight, I had a big ass salad with some cilantro, mixed greens, and avocado with some chipotle lime mayo from Primal Kitchen. So that was my dinner, and it was super, super yummy, and a ribeye steak. So I have a lot of meat and vegetables. Yesterday I had a ribeye steak and a whole bunch of Brussels sprouts and broccoli. Keep it simple. I keep it very simple. I listen to my body. Just a quick note about how I choose my food every day, and what really drives me is quality of product. And for me, what's important is non-GMO, fair trade, organic, grass-fed. When it comes to meat, I always try to have caribou, moose, anything that's hunted from my land or from the land. That's my first preference. If I'm going to have steak, which I have a lot, or ground beef, I really look for grass-fed. That's more important to me than organic. And I don't have dairy, but when I did have dairy, I tried to always make sure it was not treated with RBST. The way that it really got me, though, is when I went out to eat, because you're not going to get quality products, you're not going to get quality meat, and when I don't have grass-fed meat, I feel nauseous, and my just doesn't get digested by my body. And again, fair trade and non-GMO, those are very important to me. listen to my body. I change when I need to. And I threw away my scales over a week ago now. Both of them, threw them in the fucking trash. I took my Fitness Pal off my phone. I am done with self-hatred or self-loathing, and I'm sure I'll jump on a scale someday, but today I did not, and I probably won't tomorrow, and I'm so fucking okay with that. The only other thing I do is I check my glucose and my ketones. I do a lot less of the ketones. I'm realizing that it's a lot less important and better to listen to how I feel. That is my day. If you have any questions or comments, please contact me below. And that's it. See ya.